Hi friends. I live in Central Florida and it is hot outside. A lot of these things I need to grow in our winter months. So I picked up this AeroGarden kit, figuring that my indoor temperatures are really nice. Maybe I can grow it on my table and then I can have things that I need to supplement the grocery store for my lunches for work. So I picked this up on Amazon. I want to say it was about $60 on sale. It's a really, really cute green color. And I figured that we would give it a shot. And I'd open this up for you and show you what all comes in it. Get it all set up and see how hard it is to get set up for somebody that's never put anything like this together before. And we'll see how well it does in my kitchen here in Central Florida. So I picked up these lettuces a while ago and I figured that they probably work really well. It's Tom Thumb and Butter Crunch. And then the Italian parsley that came with my green stalks. I have giant noble spinach. I have Paris Island, romaine lettuce, and then I have tender crisp celery. And I figured that moving on, this might work to grow herbs that I've struggled growing before, but also I may be able to just start plants in it by buying more of the plugs. So it comes with a recipe: tomato cucumber salad with mint and pesto. I have all of those ingredients already in my garden. That'll be nice. And the quick setup guide here. This is the Harvest Slim, so that's the one that we'll be putting together today. So it's pretty packaged. Wait. It has this like hardish cardboard. It actually looks like it's mostly put together. It has these two separate boxes, power plug and it says gourmet herb. So we have some little assembly tapes. Wow. You have to love a company that uses this assembly tape here to keep things from falling apart and then has the foresight to fold it over so that you can remove it easily. All right, seems like there was 3 of those. Oh, that's fun. The whole base comes out here. This top here comes out and this comes out. All right, so inside this, there's a little button on this pole filled to here. So I'm gonna go with, that's the fill line. Just using a little bit of common sense here. Okay, so we're looking at the instructions here. This is called the grow deck. So it has these 6 holes for the pods to go into. So this wants your pump cord out the back of this. So he goes in there. This guy goes in there with the pump cord out the back. And there's this extra little notch here so that the cord's not getting pinched. It just sets right in there. And this is the fill port right here. So we would fill the water to that fill line there. We're gonna add plant food to it, and then we're going to cap it off and add the pods. I'm guessing these are the pods. All right, this has a little tracker so you can see when you planted your things. That's cute. Oh, I see what we've done here. All right, so we won't be using my seeds because these are pre-seeded pods. So we're gonna go ahead and just plant what they gave us. So they gave us Thai basil. This is dill. This is thyme. This is Genovese basil. We have mint. And curly parsley. Okay, so not too far off from what we already had. There are these, which look like little starter domes. And then the liquid plant food. I typically grow organically outside. I don't use a whole lot of the synthetic fertilizers, but we're gonna go ahead and use this for now. And then I guess when I purchase new empty pods, you know, not pre-seeded pods here. When I buy new empty pods to refill this after this experiment, then we will go ahead and get our hands on an organic liquid fertilizer. All right, so then you have the seed pot kit instructions here. Looks pretty simple. Add water, drop in the pre-seeded pods, add plant food, guaranteed to germinate. Okay. So you got the power plug. Just your typical little round plug. Alright, so I'll turn this around for you. On the back here, it's your pump plug here. Looks like it's got a little handle to disconnect it quickly if needed. And then right here is where the power cord goes. Oh, gravity. All right. Now I have a plug on my kitchen wall here. Fancy. I'm going to use some mason jars to get this filled up so you can see how much water goes in. So for somebody that doesn't like to make a lot of messes all the way around what you're working on, this is a really good spot for the fill port here. I just used a regular mouth mason jar, a quart size. And you see there's like 2 drops on there. All right, this is the second quart going in. And our third quart. All right, so besides like overfilling the actual measurements of a quart jar into there, it takes about 3 quarts. Now for this liquid plant food. So the instructions for the plant food are on the back here. It says 2 and 3 pod, 4 milliliters, 6 and 7 pod, 8 milliliters, 9 pod, 8 milliliters, and 12 pod, 16 milliliters. And then it says, so this has 6 pods here. So we're gonna go with the 8 milliliters. That's 2 capfuls at startup, and then every 2 weeks after. I'll get that plugged back in and see what we can see. All right, so I wanted to unplug that originally because the water wasn't in it yet. And I do work with pumps and motors and things in my day job. So you should not run a pump without water in it when the pump is designed for water. But let me bring you a little bit closer. Those are those water drops that I spilt earlier. Here we go. It's the water that I spilt earlier that seems to be just kind of getting its way back in there. This is that fill port, filled to here. And now the water is pumping through from that water pump and coming out of each one of these ports. It's pretty quiet. It's just a light hum, kind of like a refrigerator or an ice maker or similar. Liquid plant food. All right, that wasn't terrible. I don't know if you can see now with that background light, but this is quite brown. It actually kind of looks like about the color of iced tea. Or sweet tea for my southern folk. All right, and so those for these, I'm just gonna plop them right in there. Sorry, the lighting is terrible now with this thing on. You know what? I think that mixed pretty well. Let's get this back here. We'll get these put in so you can see better, and then nice. So that was the mint. We're gonna do the curly parsley. The dill. The Thai basil. And Genovese basil. Okay, there seems to be some kind of directional drop in that I'm missing here. Because putting these in what I would consider flush is a little challenging. And then the thyme in here. All right, that wasn't wasn't too difficult. However, let me show you something. So these in here, I wonder if that will help. Let me put that back on. There we go. So you can see the colors of lights up there. And then inside here, these pods are a peat moss. So when you're putting them in there, they're floating up to the top. They are beginning to absorb some of the water and stay a little closer to the bottom of their pod. So we'll keep these hanging around and we'll see how they do. We're gonna go ahead and get these domes on too. They just kind of set right in place there. And that's what it looks like on the table all set up. I mean, obviously it's a little lighter in here in person than it is on my camera, but I don't have very great natural lighting inside my kitchen. Just the overhead light. Today's date is August 20th, 2023. It is about 9:30 in the morning. So we will see how this goes. And I will keep you updated, best I remember, on how this Harvest Slim AeroGarden goes for us here in my kitchen in Central Florida. We are zone 9B, creeping on 10. It is quite warm. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me for a little while today and entertaining me with a little experiment. I really hope this works because getting some of my salad ingredients from my kitchen is going to be much easier than the grocery store. Thanks, y'all.